Hi everyone, welcome to Fridays with Dannphan. Black Friday to be specific. So this is an extra rare Friday with Dannphan. Only comes once a year if you manage to catch it. But yeah, obviously we're the people who stay inside on Black Fridays and do all our shopping online, as you probably should do. I'm not all about having to deal with crowds just to get like 2% off a table or whatever. It's not my thing. Although, granted, I gotta say, as you can see, I still have not gotten my new camera. This is the same old camera that comes with the laptop. I did get I bought a new 1080p camera. It's a slight step up, but still a step up. And I swear, I got that like 2 weeks ago. I thought it would be here by now. I thought for sure that it would be here before the Christmas season and before everyone's going crazy shopping online. But it's not. And I looked at the tracking number. It looks like it hasn't even been dropped off at the FedEx yet, which is pretty brutal. So who knows when I'll get that camera. So disappointed, But it is what it is. Some businesses take an extra long time to actually ship something out. But once we get that camera, hey, bump up in quality by a very small percentage. I'm doing what I can with the lighting for now. I have like some of those special lights for YouTubers. I just don't really have anywhere to put them. So right now I'm just using normal lamp lighting, which is not very good looking, but it is what it is. It's slightly brighter than usual. So we'll work with this. Another thing to consider, I guess, is like putting Christmas lights behind me. Maybe we can do a nice dim lighting if I get a camera that is actually good at film in darker settings and doesn't like pixelate when it's slightly darker than average. That would be nice. That would be something at least. Nah, but whatever. I got a few other things to do shopping for as well. I'm just hoping whatever I get online arrives in time, and that's all you can do. It's all you can hope for during this time of year. But I gotta say, Christmas season, I love Christmas season, and yeah, I think it'll be a fun season. I'm gonna make the most out of it. How was my Thanksgiving? It was okay. It was alrighty. Nothing too exciting to report for my Thanksgiving. But yeah, I'm sorry, by the way. This is a slightly later than usual Friday with Dannphan. Normally I start at like 4:30. This time I'm starting at 5:30. Honestly, I was just writing and I just lost track of time because I'm working really hard on this thing. And yeah, writing, editing. Sometimes when you're on a roll, you just can't stop. So that's what's happening now. Should I give you some updates comic-wise, or should I wait till the end of the stream to do that when like more people are here? I guess I should probably wait till the end of the stream to do that. Give you a bunch of comic updates. Till then, hey, look what I got. It's fancy looking, huh? You guys have no idea what this is. This is an infinity cube. So it just like continuously goes around and around. I like fidgeting with this. It's probably one of my favorite fidgets. Maybe not so good on my joints since there's a lot of movement going on there. But yeah, Adam actually printed this out with his 3D printer. So it's specially made just for me. Yes, sir. And I've been having fun with it. I don't know how it sounds on the mic though. Because if like the plastic scraping against each other sounds bad, then I won't fidget with it. I can wait, but I do enjoy spinning this Yes. Do it with one hand too. Although it's like less efficient. It's not bad, huh? Sounds like a Rubik's Cube. I've heard people compare it to a Rubik's Cube. Really, it's just like flat, and then it has certain joints that can, let me see if I can give you a good view of what it's actually doing. It's like folding in on each other. So, yeah. You can like continuously move it one direction and just constantly fold in and fold in and fold in, so on and so forth. It's pretty fun. Anyway, I guess we have some news we can talk about. Disney news. Everyone's been talking about the newest Disney news. Yes, Iger is back. Chapek is out. What do you guys think about that? I see that as a generally bad sign that Disney must not be doing very good if they're calling back on their previous CEO to save them. Then again, like I always kind of knew that Chapek was not going to be a very good choice just because he's kind of cheap. Everyone knew he was cheap. Everyone knew that he was not going to give 110% into the Disney company. Some people are theorizing that Chapek was never meant to stay on as the Disney CEO. He was just meant to get Disney through a couple of years by saving money. Like he was supposed to find ways to like save money throughout the Disney company, and then when they were past a certain hurdle, then Iger would come back again. I've heard that theory. I've heard a theory that Iger wanted to use Chapek as a fall guy because he knew that there was going to be problems the next few years and he just didn't want any part of it. But Iger's not staying on as CEO. He's going to be a temporary CEO again until they can find someone better, and it's not going to be Chapek. So he, for whatever reason, they must have really hated that guy. There's also the ongoing theory, an interesting theory, coming from Clownfish TV, that Iger is only coming back to Disney not to necessarily fix it entirely, but more so to negotiate a deal to sell off Disney properties or to sell off the company entirely to Apple. I don't know if they would go as far to sell off the entire company. I feel like there's a lot in the Disney company that is worth a lot, and but I could see them selling off some Disney properties and some studios. I could see that happening. I'm not 100% sure if that's actually what's going down, or if they're just, as part of an emergency, a panic move, bringing Iger back because they hate Chapek so much. I have no idea. But a lot of the problems with Disney, you can easily blame Iger for. All Chapek did was really save them money and cut some corners. And, he made some really dumb press moves as well. He was the one who said that Disney animated movies should only aim towards kids, and live action movies should only aim towards adults, which is not really what Disney was founded on. It was founded on the idea of family movies, something that the whole entire family can enjoy together. So there was some pretty bad backlash over that. Not that I think that's the only reason why he got out, but it's just another example of Chapek not being a very good Disney CEO and not being a good face for the company. Not that I think that Iger is that much better, but at least the company didn't, plummet stock-wise when Iger was in charge. Yeah. It's all up for interpretation. What the heck is going to happen to Disney in the next few years? I just know that it's a bad sign that they almost immediately. How long has Chapek even been up on there? He hasn't been CEO for that long, and then they're already bringing back Iger. That's brutal. That guy must be pissed. But whatever. It is whatever. Disney is in trouble. I don't think that Iger's going to be able to completely fix it, even if that's the idea behind bringing him back. Did you guys know there was a Disney movie that came out this Thanksgiving, like yesterday? Because I didn't know. I didn't know until like maybe 2 days before Thanksgiving. I didn't know about that movie. Strange World? They did not give that movie any press. I didn't even hear about it until like 2 days before it came out. And I hear that it's doing awful at the box office. I don't know if they're purposefully trying to bury this movie, if they just like set it up to fail because they don't want the press of that movie since it's bad. I have no idea. I haven't seen the movie, of course. But the fact that I didn't even know it existed, it's like when I finally find out that it exists, it's like coming out the next day. They're like, that's not a good marketing plan. Who decided that? So it's just like more signs that Disney, there's something wrong going on at Disney. Something odd is afoot. But yeah. I saw a trailer for that the other day. Exactly. You're only seeing it now after it came out. But that's not how marketing should work. You should have a lot of marketing before something comes out so that people can anticipate it. I didn't even hear about this movie until like 2 days before it came out. You know what I mean? And I still don't know what it's about. I don't know what the movie's about. All I know is that it exists. And it's apparently in theaters. All right. Good job, Disney. But yeah, just more evidence that Disney isn't doing very well. I can only assume that if it wasn't on purpose for that movie to have such bad marketing, then it's just a very bad lack of coordination on the marketing team at Disney. Either way, not a good sign. But yeah. Anyway, so that was the Disney news from this week. I don't have that much of an input on it. I'm just kind of observing from the outside. I'm seeing Disney is not doing well, and I'm seeing more and more evidence coming out that Disney is not doing well. I'm just going to keep on waiting until they announce that they're selling off their properties. Basically, that's all I can expect from it at this point. Let's see. What other news came out besides Disney? Oh, this is interesting. I should talk about this. Actually, maybe I should have made a video about this. And I'll talk about it now. So let me... how do I do this again? There's a way to add screen. Share. Yes, there it is. Sorry, it's been a while since I've done this. So this is interesting. Pixiv. I have a Pixiv account, I'm pretty sure. I don't really use it that much anymore. I gotta kind of, laptop is dead, and a lot of my accounts were on there just automatically logged in, so I gotta go back and figure out a lot of accounts. Right now, I'm just like using the most important accounts that I have. But yeah, I had a Pixiv account. This is kind of new news coming from there. Japanese art community Pixiv to ban uploads depicting acts that are offensive to public order and morals. What does that mean? That's very obscure, I don't know what that entails. So if someone points a gun at someone else, such as what we see here, that is technically maybe offensive towards morality. You're not supposed to shoot people. So is that going to be banned from Pixiv? That's a pretty huge ban if that's what they mean. And it could. The problem is when it's so vague like that, it could apply to anything. So it's basically just anything that they don't like, they can apply this to. And apparently this is following complaints from Western credit card companies, ruining everything as usual. I do gotta say, if you don't know that much about your credit card company, you should look into it. Some credit card companies can be very predatory towards how they treat your money. You know what I mean? Like, there are certain credit card companies where it's against their terms of service to buy something that they deem as like sexual. I've noticed that not that I let me explain. I would never do such a thing, of course, but it's just very odd that credit card companies can say you can't use our credit card to buy certain things that we don't like. The same would apply to, like, maybe some credit cards would say you can't buy any type of weapon, be it a pocket knife or a gun, with our credit card. Otherwise, we can fine you. We can take your money away from you. And that is kind of ridiculous to me. So all I'm saying is, hey, maybe you should look into that to make sure. Not that I think that they'll do it for anyone, but, if they want to be little bitches, they'll fuck with you like that. According to a press release provided by the site's administration, these complaints centered around apparent violations of Article 14, Item 26 of the site's current terms of service agreement, which prohibits the act of using this service to display, sell, purchase, register, or otherwise conduct transactions for a variety of illegal content, including narcotics, weapons, and materials depicting the abuse of real-life children. Continuing. Pixiv then explained that starting December 15th, in order to comply with the terms and condition of international card brands, the site would begin prohibiting any content or products, fictional artwork or otherwise, depicting child pornography or child abuse, incest, bestiality, rape, sexual acts without consent. Yeah, you gotta put that in parentheses. Illegal mutilation of the person or body, and other acts that are offensive to public order and morals, which is, like I said before, a big umbrella term. I mean, granted, I'm not for any of these things. Just to be clear, I don't like seeing art of any of these things. And if I had the option, I would obviously filter it out so that I didn't have to see it. The problem that I mostly have is I don't know what this means. This seems like an umbrella term that could apply to anything. And, if we're talking about guns or narcotics, who really cares about that? I don't agree that you should be promoting that type of stuff, but I don't find it nearly as abhorrent to view when it's like connected to all these other things. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if I saw, without meaning to see, any type of child pornography, I would be upset. It would ruin my day, regardless if it were drawn or real. Oh, dear God, I would hope it would not be real. Seeing that accidentally would ruin my life. But I feel like I could get by seeing guns and drugs in artwork. I feel like that won't ruin me forever. You know what I mean? We ask all users to check the booth, Pixiv fan box, and Pixiv request functions for the terms of service and whether any of the above items are being handled, and to take action to withdraw or close the items to the public. So you can report the artwork, basically. That's what they're saying. As per November 17th, report from a Japanese publication, Bunshun, the specific event which prompted this change was this discovery that dealers of illegal pornographic videos and images of children and images of real, that's not good. That's not good at all. were using Pixiv as a front to sell content on illegal porn sites and IRL necrophilia websites, mainly Chinese. Okay, so the story gets deep over here. That's not good. That is absolutely no good. Offering their own findings on the situation. Oh, we have a Twitter user talking about it. I dug a lot. I found a story that there were people who were buying and selling real CP and snuff images. Ew. When I was searching for new arrivals with that kind of tag, saw a lot of stories about real illegal pornography, like images, and led to suspicious apps and Discord URLs. Scary. Ugh. Okay. While the prohibition and prevention of such listed real-world materials is objectively a noble goal, the vagueness in Pixiv's method of enforcing their new terms, as well as the subjective nature of their difference, seemingly Western-oriented public order and morals, has many artists worried about the future of not just the platform, but Japanese art as a whole. Okay. All right, fair enough. Reading the whole article, that is super fucking scary that Pixiv would have that stuff. And I do think that stuff should 100% be removed, of course. Whether or not art is falling under that category, it gets a little bit blurry, you know? And once again, the vagueness is kind of confusing. I'm with the person who wrote this article that I do want those things, those actual real life things removed from websites. Nobody should have to see that. Nobody should be able to break the law, of course. The law is a thing. But yeah, it seems like maybe they're overreaching because they want to have a very active response to fight against it. So maybe they're using the umbrella term here so that they can reach a little further to completely scrub clean the site. Maybe that's the idea. Anyway, I'm sorry for bringing up this story, guys. I may have depressed all of you, unintentionally, of course. I'm certainly not going to sleep tonight. Sorry about that. What are you gonna do? That's fucking scary, dude. Ugh. I mean, I guess other sites have had issues with that type of thing. But okay. Moving on, I guess. The internet has no chill sometimes. Yeah, really. Jesus Christ. Oh, whatever. What else is new in the news? Oh, yeah, what I've been seeing on my Twitter timeline a lot? People saying they're moving to Hive. I guess that is a thing. Apparently, a lot of pros at DC Comics were saying that all comic artists, you got to move over to Hive. Twitter is going to die. And, doom and gloom. You're not going to be able to showcase your work if you don't move over to this very specific social media site. But it's like, is there anyone who just uses Twitter and nothing else? I don't know about that. I think most people use like Twitter and maybe Instagram and maybe Pixiv and maybe YouTube and maybe TikTok. I feel like you have a list of multiple social media accounts that you use. Just because you knock one social media account out doesn't mean that no one's ever going to be able to find your work again. That also assumes that something is actually going to happen to Twitter. And based on what we've seen, it doesn't look like anything is going to happen to Twitter. It looks like it's running fine. So it just seems like people are panicking over nothing. Or maybe it's specifically synthetic panic that they're just trying to spread, to get people off of Twitter. Even people who are saying, though, and posting on their timeline that they're making a Hive account, they're still not leaving Twitter. They just also have a Hive account now. And I think that they're waiting it out to see if they can match their followers on Twitter, which I don't think they're going to be able to do because there's still not a lot of users on Hive. And it's not a very good app, to be honest. There's a lot of crashes on there, from what I've heard. And there's a couple things about Hive, a couple pros and cons. I guess I might as well talk about it now that the subject has come out. One thing I think that I can respect about Hive as another platform is the fact that they don't have a very algorithm-based timeline like Twitter does. One thing that Twitter does that really annoys me is that it's constantly showing my followers who they follow, just random posts of people I don't even know. I didn't follow them, but they show up on my timeline anyway because the people that I do follow them. Therefore, Twitter, based on an algorithm, tries to suggest posts to me. I don't like that. And I don't like seeing people's likes either. I don't like seeing what posts they like, especially if it's a political post, because I feel like I'm peeking into their privacy. Not that there isn't a way to go on someone's account and look through their likes, but, I don't want that just shown to me without me looking for it. I just, it's not my favorite thing. So that's one positive thing I can say about Hive is that they have a less algorithmic based timeline. Not that that's always going to be the case. They'll probably change it to be exactly like Twitter because they want to increase the usage of their app and they want to make money. And a good way to do that is to have an algorithm of some sort. But yeah, there's a lot of things to not like about Hive. Obviously, the name. It's not a good thing when you name your app a villainous group from Teen Titans. It's not the best marketing strategy there. But yeah, also they have a bunch of weird shit in there where you can on your profile have your astrology sign and stuff like that. It's like, what the fuck? This isn't a dating app, is it? It's just weird. I don't like that. I don't like pseudoscience in general, but I don't know. Maybe they do want it to be a little bit datey also. I don't know. But yeah, obviously, I don't think it's going to be as easy as just socially pressuring everyone to go to a new platform. Usually doesn't work that way. The platform itself also has to be good. And people want their followers to come over to the new social media platform. That's another big thing to consider. If they're not getting any followers on this new platform, then they're just going to delete it. Because what's the point? What's the point of posting on a platform that nobody is subscribed to? So that's what's happening for a lot of artists. They're moving over to Hive and they're promoting on Twitter like, hey, I have a Hive account. Move over here if you still want to follow me. And then nobody's doing it. Because why would I waste whatever amount of time of my life to create another social media platform? We already have so many others. Why move over to Instagram? Something that we already have, But yeah, for those of you who may or may not in the future ask me if I'm going to make a Hive account, no, I don't have to make a Hive account. I'm not a sheep, and you cannot herd me. I don't just go wherever the fucking shepherd tells me to. I'm a human being. Thank you. Thank you very much. The hype around Hive is all jive. Yeah, you got it. But yeah, I don't see Hive being the next thing. You can't just synthetically create the next big thing. People have to actually like the platform to move there. That's how it is. And who knows how many bots Hive has on it? Because that is a method to make your social media platform look like it's popular. You just add a bunch of bots to do like fake posts. Oh man, that is a method, yeah. So who knows how popular it actually is versus how synthetic it is. But right now, I don't see a lot of people moving to Hive and bringing a bunch of followers with them. I don't see that happening. You don't think Hive will last long? I mean, it's very new and it doesn't have very good functionality from what I've seen. So probably not. People might spend a week on there and get frustrated with it. Oh yeah, and it doesn't have any web and desktop interface. That's true. No website, only an app. Which I generally see as a bad sign because I can't really get too much information on an app with no website. Yeah, I don't like apps either. Partially because I want to save space on my phone and I don't want to waste space with a bunch of different apps, but also partially just because I use my computer so much more than my phone. So I like to have different websites bookmarked and just flip through them however I see fit. So not a huge fan of apps in general. What other news out there is there? This is, I guess, an interesting news. I don't know how you guys feel about this. I'm kind of lukewarm. Mario, the Mario movie is getting some complaint for Mario not being casted as an Italian voice actor. What do you feel about that? Do you feel like they should have got someone with Italian ancestry to play Mario, or do you not give a fuck? I mean, in general, all right? In general, you could argue that anyone could do an Italian accent. They didn't do it that way, though. They went with a more old school Mario with the New York accent, which is not the first time. It's not the first time we've heard Mario with a New York accent, despite what anyone tells you. The cartoon Mario for the like really super old first Mario cartoon, they had that same New York accent. It wasn't until like maybe the 3D games that they introduced the super over the top Italian, oh, mamma mia accent with Mario. And part of the reason that accent caught on so much, why people liked it so much, is just because it's funny. Just because it's really fun. And it added a certain character type to Mario that the New York accent didn't add to Mario. The New York accent kind of makes Mario sound a little bit tough and gritty, doesn't it? But let's go. That makes it sound more like he's a happy-go-lucky, maybe adventurous spirit. It adds a whole different character to the Mario character. But both versions existed. And that is important to note. I probably would have preferred the super over-the-top Italian voice. To be honest, I feel a little bit disappointed that they didn't get the original voice actor for Mario to do the official voice. Part of the reason why I think they didn't do that is just because they thought it would be annoying. It's possible that they thought it would be annoying and that general audiences would not like that voice on Mario. Okay, fair. I don't know why Chris Pratt was the pick, though. No hate on Chris Pratt. I absolutely do not hate Chris Pratt. I'm just curious if they sought him out or if he like just really wanted to be Mario. If he went to them like, hey, it's a me. Yeah. Going over like the other criticization, which is more prominent in this specific article, is the idea that Italians are actors of color. Funny how that works, huh? It's funny how people are very off and on about whether or not Italians are of color. If you want my personal opinion, I think they're just tan. I don't think they're a different race. But I mean, anyone who is by the coast will just naturally get a tan. You look at Adam, you've seen Adam, right? He's fucking pale as shit. And he has a very prominent Italian background in his family. I mean, I'm part Sicilian myself, but I feel like I'm not the best example of what an Italian looks like because I'm mostly German. Mostly. It's got some British in there too. It's a little bit of a mix-up. But I know I'm Sicilian, British, and German. Those are the three that I know for sure as far as my ancestry goes. But yeah, people can be really weird about the whole are Italians of color debate. Weird to the point where I've seen people point at an actual Italian and say that they're not Italian because they're not black or they're not of color. And that's fucking bizarre. I find that more bizarre than anything. So the new Pinocchio movie, Pinocchio 2022, I was watching a few reviews of that, and there was actually a guy who was like, they whitewashed Stromboli. And I double taked at the review because I'm looking at the guy they got to play Stromboli, and he very clearly looks Italian, in my opinion. Anyway, they obviously like did some makeup and did some stuff for him, but I thought to myself, is that true? Did they not get an actual Italian to play Stromboli? I looked into it, right? Hang on, let me show you. 2022 cast. I should show you immediately. I think it was Steve Reviews that I was watching, but I don't want to put words in anyone's mouth in case I get it wrong. The guy who's playing Stromboli. Oh, yes. You guys got to see this. Hang on. No, you have to see it. All right. This is important, I swear. You got to know. That's the name of the guy playing Stromboli. You are... Look at that! That's the most Italian motherfucking name I've ever seen in my life. Giuseppe Bastian? Fucking... Okay, so you click on his name. Maybe you're like, that's debatable whether or not... He's fucking Italian! He did Italian movies beforehand. But because he's not tan enough, this reviewer, who I can't confirm who it was, so I don't want to throw out any names there. I shouldn't have even said Steve Reviews because I don't know if it was him for sure. I was just watching a bunch of different Pinocchio reviews. This guy is as Italian as they get. They get him to play Stromboli, and this reviewer is like, they whitewashed Stromboli. He's supposed to... Italians aren't black. Stop. Stop it with this. Apparently there is a rumor that started from some movie. There's this throwaway line from some gangster movie that I can't remember. Adam told me about this, so this is all offhand information. I can't confirm everything I hear all the time. But he said that there's this movie where they have this throwaway line where they say, like, Sicilians are black or something like that. and it's supposed to be like this racist character saying it, and they wanted to showcase that he was racist, and so they have some throwaway line where they're saying Sicilians are black. I'm very much not black, as you can see. But apparently a lot of people took it to heart, and they went on for a very long time. A lot of people have been repeating that Sicilians are really dark-skinned, or like a different race entirely, or mixed with African. I don't know. But it pisses Adam off so much to hear people say that. And yeah, I mean, I guess it maybe should make me mad too, but you know, I'm not a huge amount Italian, so maybe I'm not as mad as he would get, being that Adam is very prominently Italian, you know? Like, it's practically 50-50. His family also acts very Italian. So it's one of those things, you know? The closer you are to your culture, the more upset you will be when people misinterpret it. I think, anyways. But yeah, so they did not whitewash Geppetto. Or no, they did not whitewash Stromboli, is what I was trying to say. I don't know why that reviewer said that. That was just weird. Anyway. So if you want to like argue that maybe they should have gotten actual Italian with an Italian accent to play Mario, that's an interesting argument. Saying whether or not Italians are of color, it's kind of even if you want to say, like, you know, Italians who are more so by the coast, they are tanner. They have darker skin, just like people who live by the beach, even in America. But if you want to argue, well, they're tanner, so they're of color, sure. But then are we just assuming that Mario is also supposed to be tan? He's also supposed to be a coast Italian? Is that the argument then? I don't know. I don't know anything. I'm just some idiot online. But I will say this. I know that Sicilians aren't black. I will say that much. I think it would be really interesting if they got a real, genuine Italian, like, just shipped them overseas and was like, "You're Mario now." And that Mario actually was voiced by a genuine Italian accent. That would be pretty interesting. But yeah, I'm not saying that they have to do that to give a genuine Mario voice. I'm still going to watch the Mario. I'm still very interested in the Mario movie. But, you know, I do agree that maybe it would have been better if they got the original Mario. Yeah, I say original Mario voice actor because people consider him the original, but the 3D Mario voice actor, if they got him to do the voice of Mario, I'm very curious to what that would sound like, and if that actually would be bad for general audiences, or if we would love it. We'll never know at this point because they decided not to go with that voice. Either way, I'm still going to watch the movie. I'll still probably enjoy it. Even with New York Mario, I'll still probably enjoy it. Apparently, once again, offhand information. Apparently, I heard that the original backstory behind Mario is that he's Italian, but he came from New York. I'm talking about like video game backstory too, when they were like conceptualizing Mario. So I'm not 100% sure if that's true, or if that's the reason behind why the cartoon decided to go with a New York accent. But it's what I heard. Yep. Jersey's got the largest population of Italians. Yeah, it's true. It's very true, especially the area where Adam lives in. It's all a bunch of fucking Italians around here. Yeah, anyway, that's my spiel on it. So I guess we got like 15 more minutes left in the stream. Maybe I should just be talking about some updates now. Now that we've gone through like all the major news that's happened. Yeah. I still feel bad that I talked about that Pixiv story without knowing anything. When I got into the article and actually started reading some of that stuff, I was like, oh God, this actually does sound horrible. This was happening on this site. Ugh, fucking, oh shit. Now I understand why they were reacting so extremely to it. Gotta get that shit off the site. But yeah, hopefully that didn't ruin anyone's day. Sorry about that. Okay. So, news regarding Burning Star Comics. So, we're going to be printing out more Ellie figurines, of course. I have the new paint that is supposed to be better for actually getting the colors right. I'll be testing that out maybe tomorrow-ish. Another thing I got to do tomorrow is I got to get a new desk for my PC, or well, my desktop, my gaming computer. That will be fucking great. And you know, that means more games to play on the Dannphan's YouTube channel. So I'm excited about that. Maybe I'll play some Sonic Frontiers. Huh? You guys want to watch me play Sonic? I want to watch me play Sonic. That's the good stuff on the Dannphan's channel. But anyway, so yeah, I gotta get that new desk. We actually bought a new desk. It came in, and it turns out that the desk, first of all, you needed a power drill to do like one half of the desk, and then the other half, they didn't want you to actually put any pegs in it or anything. They wanted you to Velcro it to the thing holding it up. And I just thought to myself, no, I do not trust this desk to stay together with Velcro. So we had to return that desk, and now we got to look for a new one, hopefully a better one. I mean, if you're going to spend a couple $100 on a new desk, it should at least be good. You know, another thing is, Adam would prefer it, at least, if we didn't get a desk that was like the fake wood, because it has formaldehyde in it. You're supposed to air it outside before you actually set it up. We would prefer just to not have the dangerous chemicals there at all, naturally. But I mean, if it's impossible to find a decent desk without like the fake wood formaldehyde coating, then I'll just deal with the dangerous chemicals. That's fine. That's, you know, it is what it is. Oh, I've spent all this time talking about desks now. I should be talking about comic stuff. Yes. Sonic City Witch is kind of going to be delayed. I guess indefinitely. You know, it's one of those things where some stuff is being rewritten, and I lost the draft pages. So I've been having to redo draft pages for my artist. I still don't have my original hard drive back, believe it or not. I'm supposed to hear from the guy recovering the hard drive at the end of the month again to see what progress has been. He's been working on it for about 3 months now. About. By the end of this month, it'll be 3 months. So that's fun, right? But yeah, hopefully I'll get that back. Either way, it's just going to be a good bit of work to do. So it's going to take a little bit longer than normal for the next issue to come out. But hopefully when it does come out, everyone will be satisfied, especially when we finally get that campaign going and have the final issue out. And people will finally get to see how it ends. It's going to be very fun, I hope. I hope you enjoy it, yeah. It was a while for me to get actual feedback on the rest of the script. There's some people who like read the beginning, and I was waiting for feedback to see what they thought of the ending, because you got to get feedback on something before you go balls to the wall and publish it naturally. I finally got the feedback that I needed to make it a better story. So I'm really excited to do the editing for the last 2 issues, and then get the art done, get it all pumped out. Until then, though, I do have another comic that's going to be coming out. I think it won't take that long to finish, honestly. It is a one-shot comic, but it is open-ended, so if I wanted to do more issues for it, I could, and then maybe I could print it as a trade paperback. That could be fun. But yeah, the one-shot comic theoretically could be done as early as January. I don't know when I'm going to start promoting it, though, because part of me really wants to finish up redoing the draft pages and making sure Sonic City Witch is taken care of so that we can continue making progress on that. And then maybe I should be promoting the other thing. I'm also tossing up whether or not I like the cover for it or if I should change the cover. It's one of those things. But I think a lot of people are going to enjoy the one shot. Maybe even enough, perhaps, to make a whole other comic for it, to make 2 whole other comics for it. If it is popular, I'd love to do a print of it. Like I said, I think people will enjoy the one shot. Sometimes it's really easier to do a contained story as opposed to making these long series. Especially when you're doing independent comics, I think. Usually when people ask me, how do you get started on making your own comics? I usually recommend that you start with simple contained stories first and build up to a series. I mean, because you don't want to bite off more than you can chew. A lot of people, when they start off comics, they start off with like 1-panel comics, which are basically just illustrations with word balloons. And then they make their way up to like maybe 1-page comics or 2-page comics. You see those comic skits. Web comics do it all the time, where they do just like 4 panels. And that's how they start off, by telling their comic stories. Just simple stories, maybe simple punchlines. And then you work your way up to a contained story, maybe like 20 to 30 pages, something that can stand on its own, that doesn't need to be a series, but has the potential to be, perhaps. And then you work your way up to maybe a mini series, and then maybe your extra special magnum opus, super long series. That's what I'm kind of focusing on doing. I did make a few short self-contained stories. A lot of them are free on burningstarcomics.net if you did want to read them, of course. Sonic City Witch and I guess Oh Girl kind of are mini-series. Sonic City Witch has a definite amount of issues, though, whereas Oh Girl is kind of just like, I can stop anywhere. Same thing with Ellie the Eliminator, honestly. It's one of those series where you can just, because each story is another tale within a very long saga, you can stop anywhere. And then I got this one shot coming out, open-ended, I can stop after that. I'm not tethered to it if I don't want to continue it, which is good, I think. Anyways. Because when you're starting out, you want to, if you're going to be working on something 24/7, it better be the project that you love to work on. It better not be something that you're permanently chained to for the rest of your life and struggling with. And yeah, the big series, the one that I want to make my signature series, that's the one that has yet to come out. But I've been doing a lot of work on building the world for that one. And it's going to take a while because I want to make sure that I'm ready for it. But I also want to make sure I have other projects out there for you guys to enjoy first, of course. And I need my hard drive back to actually start working on it again. So, it's a whole list of reasons why that hasn't come out yet. But I'm most excited for that. Even though, it's going to take a while, I think it'll be worth it. I think it's one of those series where it'll be worth spending all my time working on. Yeah, there goes my cap. That's the most amount of news I can really give you for the comic website, burningstarcomics.net. As far as publishing other people's works, Volume 2 of Now Hiring is kind of, being worked on in the background. I assume it's not going to be done instantly. It'll probably take a good bit till Volume 2 comes out. I was going to publish this other girl's comic who was also a webcomic artist and wanted to go to regular comic route. Comic being published by indie publisher route. But she hasn't been able to finish it just because she's had some issues with her hand, carpal tunnel type stuff. It's a real bitch. I know firsthand that, firsthand. But seriously though, I do know firsthand how painful that can be and how difficult it is to work with those problems. So she definitely should take a break. And maybe if it gets to a point where she can't draw anymore, maybe it gets passed off to another artist. I'm not sure. I don't want to dictate where exactly her story goes, her fate. But then there is issue 2 of Crazy Cop Yuzuki. That is currently being worked on. So that will also be published at some point. But who knows if it's going to be ready next year or after. Basically my point. There's not too much news on the other stuff being worked on that's not by me. Yeah, she should take it easy. Gotta relax, I've been somewhat blessed not having a computer for all this time because I have not been doing a bunch of work on my whole hand thing here. So I've gotten very good rest. And now I'm ready. I'm ready to really fuck up my hand drawing some shit now. But first things first. I think I want to finish up editing the last 2 Sonic City Witch issues and redoing the drafts for those. Once that's done, I'll start working on the one-shot I've already been working on the one-shot project, but I'll continue work on the one-shot project and hopefully get some promotional material out there online so you guys know what to expect. So if you follow me on social media, keep an eye on my posts. I'll probably do a post on YouTube as well. If you ever see my community posts. I don't really understand how community posts, how that algorithm works. I know that sometimes people see the post and most of the time people don't. So it's whatever. If you want to be extra sure that you see my posts, then don't just rely on YouTube community posts. Follow me on my other social media platforms down below in the description, of course. But yeah, we got about just 1 minute left of the Friday with Dannphan. I feel like overall this was a pretty good Friday with Dannphan. We got to talk about a few different things, some more pleasant than others. I think the best part of this stream was talking about more positive things. I like to end the streams on a positive note, so it's good stuff. Yeah. I guess, I don't know. Should I open for questions or should I just say goodnight? I don't know. Maybe it's a bit late. Maybe I'll just say goodnight to everyone. We might be gaming tonight on the Game Fans channel if you want to watch us play video games. I'm saying might because I have to, ask the boyfriend if he wants to play a game with me on a live stream. But if you are interested in watching any of my gaming streams, make sure that you're subscribed to that YouTube as well. Good night, everyone. Have a great Black Friday, and let's all have a wonderful Christmas. After all, it is the most wonderful time of the year. Till then.